Welcome to Cutting Edge Aquatics. This is Dave and I'm your host. So what we're looking at here is my Fancy Goldfish planted tank. As you can see, the plants and everything seems to be doing fine. Everything's still growing. But one of the things I wanted to show everybody here is a nice way to find sustainable food for your fish. So what I'm giving these guys here is some duckweed. So I grow duckweed in all different forms, I should say all different tanks. And I put this in here for these guys to eat. It's one of the most sustainable natural foods for goldfish, especially for fancy goldfish, because their number one is they don't get really big. I mean, they'll get fairly large, but they won't get like the size of like some of the comets or the kois and so forth, or the shabunkins. But you can see these guys really enjoy their duckweed. I give them duckweed every day. Because they usually end up eating it all, and which is pretty interesting because you see there's I do have these dwarf water lettuce, but they leave that alone. I mean, if you look on the bottom of this tank, there's no like dead or no dwarf lettuce roots or anything on the bottom, but these guys really do seem to enjoy their duckweed, and it's really good for them too. It's a natural food source. It's in every tank. And what I normally do is I just kind of grab a scoop of it and move it in here. Now I wanted to mention though, this fish has got this little thing underneath its chin, or underneath its mouth, I should say. Fish have chins, but I don't know. It's been like that since I bought it, and it doesn't seem to hinder it from eating or anything. So I just kind of let it be. But and I added this little white one here with the red head. I thought that was kind of a cool little fancy. Yeah, there are a few others I wouldn't mind getting. I just haven't found one. I saw one at the pet store the other day. It was like a bronze type color. It was okay, but I think I would let it stay with the, I want to find something that's going to be kind of different, so if I find a good deal on one, I pick it up. But yeah, so definitely, if you ever want to get some goldfish and set it up in a planted tank, it can definitely be done. And if you want to save yourself a ton of money, go down to a local creek, and usually there's duckweed growing in there, and scoop a little bit out and put it in a tub and with a light, or put it outside in a tub or in a tote or whatever, and you'll have more duckweed than you'll ever need. And these fish will thank you for it, because you can pretty much just give them duckweed. I do give them a little bit of flake here and there too, some bug bites, but they seem to love the duckweed, and they also, by giving them that, they leave most of my plants alone. I do see one of my leaves that look like they're chomping on a little bit, but for the most part, they're pretty good with the plants. I haven't seen them a lot of times. Like, people say goldfish are notorious plant destroyers, but these plants seem to be doing pretty good. The tiger lotus leaves are, like I said, that one looks like it's kind of picked on a bit. I might have to cut that one off, but overall, I've been happy. And I like the fact that these guys, you can see now, they look nice and fat, and they're sociable. They're not skittish. I don't do water changes on this tank either. I just do top offs. So a lot of people might go on here and say, well, that's bad for them and all. So what I use for my tanks is I use my eyes. I do the eye test. If my fish look like they're struggling to breathe, the fish look like they're having problems, they're not eating, they're lethargic, they're overweight, I'll take action. But I watch my fish. I see them every day. And I honestly can't see anything wrong with these fish, other than that little thing I noticed earlier. But he was like that when it was like that when I bought him. But I like the color on that. I like the color on that little fancy fish there, fancy goldfish. So, but I think people just overreact in the hobby, and they just kind of do whatever it's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do type thing. One person says I do it this way, so everybody says they have to do it that way. It isn't necessarily the right way, so when you have a heavily planted tank with lots of floating plants, duckweed, water lettuce, alpinia, frogbit, all these other plants in here, tiger lotus, and you got Amazon sword plants. You can see that sword plant back there has got massive. They take care of the filtration for you. There's really not a lot you can do when you introduce the father fish method, because the father fish adds the special supplement. In his supplement, there's all the ingredients are there to maintain the water and the buffers and everything for your plants and for your livestock. So there's really no reason to have to, you know, I don't want to say kill yourself, but you don't have to go crazy to, you know, worry that you're not doing this or doing that, or have to have, you know, all these special things or all these special conditions. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, look at these guys. I mean, they're the healthiest fish I've ever seen. I mean, all my fish are like this. I mean, all I do is occasionally feed them, and I add leaf litter, and then from my resurrection jar or from a pond, and that's it. You know, everybody's great. But anyway, I thought I'd share the update, and hopefully y'all can see everybody looks nice and fat and happy. And don't forget about duckweed. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe too. If you like the content or have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to share anything. And I'll see you on the next one.